Alright, excellent. Alright, this is just gonna be a test for me to kind of see what's gonna happen when I do this for real and kind of get audio levels. And I honestly meant to record this in some software, but I think this will be fine. I can pull the audio from YouTube and we'll roll with that. And as my preliminary kind of run through, I'm going to run through the Double Scoop issue number 19. And I don't know if I'm going to leave this up, but if I do, for all those that don't know, the Double Scoop is just the newsletter that I run. It is just related to guitar gear and guitars, amps, whatever else is kind of included. I usually try to do 4 to 5 things in the issue, and then send it out twice a week, bi-weekly, twice a month. All right, so the first thing, and I don't think every episode is gonna be like this. I have some notes of stuff that I want to go over, and since it's NAMM, that's really kind of inspired me to kind of do this. So we're rolling with it. I'm not really sure where to put these yet. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't know where to put. I locked them. That's what happened. It doesn't matter. Let's lock this in place, and then we'll move these guys around. Anyway, yeah, I don't think this is going to be the setup every time, but we'll figure it out. Yeah. So Earthquaker put out the Aurelius Chorus pedal. Looks pretty sweet. Let's see. Let's check it out in Zounds. Sometimes, full disclosure, sometimes I just take some of this and repurpose it for it. So you're getting some good description for the Double Scoop. But yeah, it's got 6 presets. Looks like you can save the presets, and there's a TRS output to control with an expression pedal, thus the image here. So I think you can get pretty crazy with what all you have going on. And it's pretty cool. I mean, it seems like everybody was putting out a chorus. The next one, we'll just go right into it, is the Old Blood Noise Endeavors BL82 chorus. And 2 weeks ago, I did the CB by Beatronics. Another chorus. I don't know if like all these guys are friends on the back end and they just conspired to all release choruses, or they all stumbled across the same thing in their musings, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so you got this one, a little bit more simple controls. I mean, the slider, that's fun. That they just kind of put it in kind of cattywampus. That's pretty cool. And then the different knobs. Solid look. But yeah, so there's a slider that controls, let's see, the delay timing. Is that what it is? Yeah. So 2 delay lines modulated by opposite synchronized LFOs are combined in parallel, and the timing of the delay lines as well as the speed and depth of the LFOs are determined by the slider. So then you have feedback, volume, and mix into your draw signal. So that's pretty cool. The art, it doesn't, like, some of their stuff looks really cool. Like, if we're just gonna go through it, like, I don't like that. There's a pedal maker called like Sex Cult Fiends or something, and this has that vibe. I know this is like a custom one that they did, but let's see. Oh man, I'm probably gonna get some weird recommends off this one. But yeah, it's got similar vibes, I think, you know. But yeah, they have some stuff. I should probably just leave reverb up instead of just searching. But yeah, I think some of their, like, this is cool. Like, their default is I think it's a Klon style pedal. It's very cool. I love the sliders. But yeah, and then the float. This one reminds me of the Mandalorian. Pretty cool. But yeah, it seems very obtuse from like their normal thing. Well, I guess there's this. Maybe is that a special one? Or did this one come out and I just wasn't paying attention? Oh, it's hand painted. Right? Yeah. Original painting. So yeah, maybe that's yeah. Oh, okay. Well, now that I feel kind of bad that it's an original painting and I said it didn't look good. Let's move on past that. All right, Universal Audio has released another set of their very high quality FX pedals. So you have the Galaxy Tape Delay. This is a compressor and a boost, or a preamp. Yeah, preamp and compressor. And then the Delverb, which is a delay reverb. The Delverb looks the best, I think. It looks like mint chocolate chip. It looks really cool. And it says it has really good, what do you call it? It's like models, I guess. I don't think any of it is analog. Like even their analog digital memory man, the DMMM, it's I think it's all just emulated. But they look cool. You get reverb and delay all in one pedal. They are $350, which is a lot, but Universal Audio stuff isn't cheap, and it's very high quality. So, seems like a somewhat fair price point for them. The Galaxy Tape Delay and reverb looks pretty cool too. These are solid. I've listened to a little bit of or at least these two. I don't think I've heard too much of the Max, but they look pretty cool. All came out at NAMM. There's a lot of stuff that came out at NAMM. I might settle in and talk about more NAMM stuff. Who knows what's going to happen. Alright, and then the last thing that was in at least issue 19 of the newsletter was PV is reissuing their 6505 from 1992. So it's going to be made known that it's the reissue. I don't think anything is different. I mean, honestly, PV is so oddly ran. I feel like they just found a bunch of these, or a bunch of the stuff that takes to put them together, like the transistors and all the components and everything, and heck, they might even had boards laying around that they could have just put them together, and they're like, hey, let's do another run of these. But it is a very classic amplifier. You can see all the people that use these. I don't know how up to date this is. I feel like if you see an artist use one piece of gear, like they instantly go on the website for that gear, and they never come off. Like, sure, they used it, but like, how many of these people are using it right now? Like, how many of these bands are even still just out there still touring? I mean, is Hell Yeah even a band? Vinnie Paul died. Actually, funny story, I did see Hell Yeah with Lamb of God and In Flames. It was kind of weird, but I guess, yeah, I have seen Vinnie Paul while he was still alive, so that's pretty cool. And I'm thinking about going to see the Pantera reunion in the state that's closest to me, because they're not coming to my state. Nobody ever comes to Alabama, so yeah, I think it'll be a good time. Be cool to see Pantera, because I've never had the opportunity to see them live. Oh yeah, and then might as well round it out with this. So I do a Gibson Mod Shop pick of the week every 2 weeks, every issue, and I thought this one looked pretty cool. The Firebirds really stick out to me. I've done way too many Firebirds, but this one looks awesome. I love the covered uncovered look, the block inlays. I mean, the binding, it just looks stellar. Kind of pricey, but I love the mod shop. I'll go over that really quick. Did I not link this? I definitely linked it. That's just not working. There we go. But yeah, I try to hook everything in with the links. Some of them, like the Zounds links, are affiliate links. I've never had anybody buy anything, so I have no idea what even the percent looks like or anything. So, whatever, use it if you want or don't. It doesn't matter. I don't know why the mod shop. There we go. Come on, Gibson. Yeah, it's still available. I mean, steep price. It was pretty sweet. I think this has been on here for a while. I think I did this 2 weeks ago, and it's still, nobody's bought it. Some of the stuff is underwhelming. Like, that looks kind of cool. It's expensive for just a little bit of finesse. That's cool, but that's not, to me, that's just not worth $5,800. It's a cool finish. You got the little teardrop burst. It's on the back and the neck. That's cool. I mean, I guess it's whatever a custom shop finish is worth to you. That's cool. I've experimented with making pedals with glitter like this. I'm sure Gibson's got a little bit better sprayer than I did. But, I don't know. I wonder if, like, is it a nitro finish? Yeah. I wonder if that'll wear away and then you just start getting glitter on your hand. That looks like glitter flake. Not just like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But still a little expensive. I'd be upset if a $5,800 guitar finish started coming off in my hands. But nothing else too exciting. Like, that doesn't look any different than just like a regular kind of burst guitar. I mean, I get that it's a little bit more red and then has the black finish, but, and that just looks, oh, this is a flake too. I'd be so worried that it would just deteriorate on me. I don't even know if that's a real possibility, but anyway, looks good. I don't know about $4,500 good, but yeah, so I do a pick. That's what I picked. You can, you know, it changes every week, so it's a nice thing to include in the newsletter because while you might not have seen it otherwise, it's there. It doesn't last very long. A lot of the stuff gets bought up. Usually this is like the standard amount that's left over. I think everything comes out on Thursday. And I think they took a break. So I don't know how much stuff they're churning out anymore, but it stays somewhat up to date. But if you ever want something kind of custom, kind of cool from Gibson, it's here. All right. Well, that was all of the Double Scoop issue 19 that I was going to go over. I'm just going to keep rolling because it's, according to my timer, it's been about 13 minutes. I covered that stuff. Let's do the Walrus Audio Fundamental Series. Let's go over that really quick. So this got leaked, I think. I don't know who leaks stuff anymore. I feel like leaking is just like pre-hype. Let me pull them all up. But they're at least a unique take on what a basic replicatable pedal looks like. I mean, the sliders are cool. You know, a slider is just basically a knob unrolled. It's the same thing, but they look cool. It's definitely, like I said, a different take on what we're used to seeing with like the JHS 3 series or gosh, there's another one. Anyway, there's a couple people that have done just like a basic run. I was thinking Wampler, but those are distortion pedals. Those weren't like a baseline of every kind of effect that there is, and then just like a simple kind of deluxe take. Like here you get Hall spring and plate, which honestly isn't any different than the Holy Grail, but you get more control. Like with the Holy Grail, you just get reverb. Like you just get one knob, which is honestly great. Like that's what I use. And it's so simple. You just dial in the reverb that you want. You don't have to worry about this. But it is nice to have this much control over it. And then you get a nice LED And then you got the fuzz, same thing, 3 sliders, and then a couple different toggles. And then some of them get a little bit. Let's see. So you just have a small variation here, but like with the delay pedal, this is the one I was probably the most interested in when I first saw them, is that it has, digital analog and then a reverse delay, and then you can hold the pedal or hold the foot switch, and it unlocks these different repeat patterns, and then you can also use it for tap. So then you can set, so like whenever you hold this down, this toggle switch lets you choose between the different repeat settings, and then you can also tap for your time repeats. So I thought that was really cool to just take a simple thing and then just give it a little bit more, an extra feature or two. So that was cool. I think one of the other one does it. So here's the phaser. Same thing. I mean, I have the Small Stone too. The Nano. It's like probably the second pedal I ever got, but I've always loved it. It's so simple, just as a color switch. But it is nice to have a little bit more tweakability. Like with the Electro Harmonic stuff, you're just like kind of beholden to that one knob and just fine tuning it. But it also makes it a little bit more fun. Like you can just dime that knob and you're maxed out on everything. And it's a lot of fun. Here's the distortion pedal, same thing. You got your silicone clipping, LED clipping. I don't know what dark clipping is. What is that? Does not say. Didn't do much on the description there. Meanwhile, like the one for the this one is it's literally a novel. It's a whole novel. And then the other one, like, you get 2 sentences. I think this one has, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's only the delay that has the little extra bit to it. Unless the reverb does, and I just didn't notice. No? Okay, yeah, it's just the delay that has the little extra features. I feel like they could have worked that in to the reverb. Like maybe you get like an octave high-low, like with the JHS octave reverb, which I love that reverb. That's a cool reverb. But yeah, let's see. Let me check my notes one more time. I have Mick Thompson going to ESP as a topic. That's super interesting. But it's less shocking because he went to Jackson for a little bit. I wonder if he hated Jackson. I wonder if he just wasn't happy. Yeah, here's a couple of, well, I just clicked on the same thing. So he was with Ibanez for a long time. A really long time. I mean, that's all I remember him playing from when they really got big off like Subliminal. I feel like that was like the big one for, at least for me, whenever I started really kind of knowing. Like I knew about Iowa a little bit, and then like that's like the one you revisit. At least for me it was. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Because I like ESP. I like Japanese made stuff. I think that this is a cool move. I wonder if it says something about like what Charvel Jackson Fender has going on, and they were just like weren't paying him enough attention for who he is and like the weight he carries on, at least in the metal, like popular metal genre. Like what guitar he's playing is kind of a big deal. So I think this is his wife. I'm not 100% sure, but that's one of the guitars he's playing. And I feel like they kind of give him a lot of options because there's a couple with... okay, I'm just going to get the same images here. There's a couple where he's playing like their Eclipse model, their EC model, and it looks sick. Was he dropped? I don't know if this is clickbait or something like that. I guess there's been no official announcement. If there has, I have not noticed at all. I just made a note of this and wanted to talk about it. But yeah, cool, good for him. I like ESP stuff. I think they make good stuff. Jackson is cool too. Very similar. I feel like ESP is going to give them a little bit more to offer. Like with Jackson, you can get a Rhodes model, you can get their soloist model. They have the Marty Friedman LP style one, but that one's not so popular. I think it's called the Monarch. But yeah, this is cool. We'll see what happens. Maybe he'll get a signature. I always loved all his crazy Ibanez signatures. Like I loved the 7 on like the last 6 frets or something as his inlay. That was cool. Had the reverse headstock. Had the weird floating trim that didn't have a bar and was just locked in. I bet his guitar tech hated him for that. Because he was like, why don't you just play a Tune-o-matic? And it was like a floating trim. It had no dive bar, and it was completely for like tuning stability, which does make sense. But changing out those strings probably a nightmare, every single day, having to work with that. Having multiple guitars that are set up that way, because he had a red one and a white one. At least in signatures. He might have had more that were just custom made for him, which is cool. I like that. They get they're not just playing their pro models. Like, they get something. I'm just getting the same images. It's hilarious. Did all the same people write these? It's just cool that, they get their own thing and they're not having to play like, oh, you made a signature, this is what you have to play. Like, you get a little bit more than that. I just don't see. Well, I'm just on the ESP tag, so that's probably why. But yeah, I thought this was interesting news, especially him jumping from Ibanez to Jackson, which have no affiliation. I mean, other than probably where their Indonesia guitars are made in the same factory, but that switch is pretty crazy. But yeah, I think ESP makes good stuff. This is pretty cool. They're already in that genre anyway, like very popular in the metal genre. So it's absolutely on the way. So he'll get a signature. What is it going to look like? Some of his Ibanez ones. Those are pretty sick. Like this one, yeah, this is what I was thinking of. Isn't that crazy? And then you got the 7. Love that. Super cool. And then here's what I was talking about with it's a Floyd Rose, but it doesn't have an arm on the trim, and it's just literally for tuning stability, but you still have to cut the ball ends off and everything to set it up. But yeah, this is one of the ones I remember, and that also came in white. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, these were cool. Yeah, that one, the hate one, that's cool. Yeah, these were I don't know, these were so big when I was in. I wouldn't say they were so big, but they were something that I remember from early on playing guitar, is seeing a lot of these. Oh yeah, the BC Rich. Oh yeah. This was even before Ibanez. His Warlocks. Yeah, then here you got his Jackson. Same thing. Didn't change it that much. So I wonder if ESP gave him more. Like, I'm just saying, Slipknot is a huge band, and for Mick Thompson to swap up and go to them, I think is big for ESP, and I think they recognize that. Maybe Jackson Fender didn't recognize that. I remember this image from Guitar World. It's so funny. He's like bleeding. I was like, why are you bleeding? What happened? I mean, I understand there's like weapons and stuff in the picture, but did you hurt yourself? Oh yeah, and this one too. So cool. Anyway, I'm not the biggest Slipknot fan or anything, but I just thought this was interesting news. In the similar vein of Mark Morton going to Gibson. I mentioned, I mean, this was months ago, but I mentioned that in another double scoop. And, I mean, he basically plays a Les Paul anyway. Are you kidding me? It's basically a Les Paul. So it made sense for him to go to the people that make it. So he doesn't have... I only Googled Mark Morton. Probably would help if I put... Oh, that would look sick. If he's playing that. Is that what he's playing? Oh, it's a Pinterest link. Who knows what tags people put on that. I've seen this. this wine red quilt finish. He's posted that a couple times. That's a good look because it looks very similar to this Dominion with the quilt finish. But I thought his Jackson stuff was really cool. So R.I.P. Jackson losing multiple metal guitars. You hate to see it, but I don't know if that speaks to just what they're not doing or if this is just like coincidental with him wanting to change up after, because he was with Jackson for so long. I mean, clearly you can see how many different iterations. Yeah, I always like this ivory one, and he's got the splits. I think these are splits. They might be like gain toggles or something. But yeah, cool stuff. Sorry about Jackson losing some metal guys, but I think they have plenty to offset. And I feel like these guys just move around a bunch. It's kind of rare to see some guys stay together or stay with the original guitar manufacturer that they hooked up with originally. Steve Vai is the only one I can think of that has stayed with the guys they started with Ibanez. There's a new Ibanez signature. It's called the BOM Beauty. BON Beauty of Now. Yeah, it's pretty sick looking. Big fan. This guy. So Ibanez dropped a bunch of signature guitars. And this is like a very, what do you want to say? Like an ode to all of his guitars that he's ever made. Like it's got the Pia grip locked in. It's got this old green Vine of Life. Like this looks like the Universe. I think that one's green. That's like black and green pickups, and then this green with this up here, and then the swirl is kind of new, and then the old green pickups. This is just like a mix of everything he's kind of done. And they want a lot for it. It's very expensive. It's I think at NAMM it had like an $11,000 tag on it, but it's $8,500 street price. Yeah, we'll just do them all. I was just thinking of Steve Vai and somebody staying with the same guitar manufacturer. All right, so you got Joe Satriani. He came out with two. You got his like Chrome Boy kind of looking one with the mirror finish. And then you have this Paisley one, which I'm sure he designed it. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, personally commissioned. Does that mean he painted it? I think so. I mean, he's painted his own guitars before, so I would think that he painted this. So that looks cool. Very standard. This is more old school. The double humbucker. He seemed to move towards this single coil. It's the Sustainiac. I guess it's a single coil. Who knows? Well, I'm sure I could look it up. But whatever. He seemed to favor this configuration more. And this is more old school, but it's the Chrome Boy, so I think that kind of fits. And then you have the Paul Stanley Broken Mirror Iceman. Looks cool. I wish they would go back to the 4 knob configuration just to fit the Les Paul aesthetic, because it's clearly a Les Paul, just extreme in every way. So just like keep that configuration. I think that's a cool configuration. It was on the IC400, which one of my friends used to have. I always loved that guitar. And they've gone up in price, honestly. I think this was one of the best iterations that they ever did. This is clearly an older one, but I just liked this configuration. But this is what it looked like. This is the IC400. It's got the rosewood, the Iceman block, inlays. Yeah, I just like this better. I think it adds more to it. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff right there. That's a good one. But yeah, it's the Broken Mirror. Paul Stanley's been with Ibanez for a while. I do like these inlays. This is a good inlay. It was on the premium RGs that were like spalted. I think they were spalted maple. Something spalted. That seems like the right word. Anyway, it was just like these. It's like mother of pearl, but then you get the abalone in there. I think that looks so cool. And then Laurie Basilio, I think I said that right. Her model, very nice, very clean. Just in white. I don't think there's any difference. Her old one was purple, so very, I think. So it says here, according to the brand, the new finish was Basilio's idea, with the Virtuoso hoping to heighten the LB1's appeal through a classic white finish, which makes sense because their last one was purple. So this one is, like, as a guy, I would much rather buy this one than the purple one. The purple one looked fine. Had the same gold hardware, looked great, roasted neck, looked great. I'm just like, purple or white? I'm going to pick white. And I love the recess here. Solid guitar. She plays fantastically. There's one song. I wish I could remember it on the spot, but she's in a, like, very similar to some of the Paul Gilbert videos where he's just playing in a studio and they're all playing live together. There's a song that she did with a couple people with that, and it's very good. It's something like, I want to say it has love in it. Anyway, maybe I'll find it and put it in the show notes. Is that a thing? It's going to be a thing. All right, Ichika Nito, I don't know how to say. I watched some of his videos. He's a fantastic guitar player, but he's got this Talman custom, and it's got a good price. It's only like $700, which is really cool because I feel like he has a lot of Japanese and American fans, and this is a very feature-rich guitar, and it makes it accessible to a lot of people, and I think that's really cool that they would do that for somebody that's really popular instead of making something that's like insanely out of reach, like the, Steve Vai guitar. But obviously, this is like a culmination of a ton of years, and they're doing something that will probably sell pretty well because it's white, unassuming, doesn't have his like name or anything on it, at least not on the front. I think it's right here. It's hard to tell, but that's cool. Martin Miller has an updated signature. I think this is his second one. Yeah, it's his third. Guess I should just read the subtitles. Transparent aqua blue looks good. I'm undecided on this like Ibanez Strat look. I know it's gained a ton of popularity. I've been watching Max Oslo, I think that's how you say it, and he plays one of these AZ models, and they're incredible sounding, and how he plays is incredible. So yeah, that's all the Ibanez stuff. I wasn't planning on going through it, but there it all is. Let me double check my notes. I think I'm gonna be done and roll on. Yeah, 30 minutes. That's pretty good. This was supposed to just be a test run. I'm going to listen to it back. Maybe I just wasted all my time. The only thing I didn't cover was the Kirk Hammett Greeny LP, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Because I don't know enough about it. Not that I knew a lot about anything that I just talked about. But thanks for hanging out. I'm going to try to do this pretty regularly. Maybe opposite of the newsletter. I don't know. But I'm going to try, just because there's stuff that just grows outside of the newsletter. Like, I can't do what I just did in the newsletter. It just doesn't work, and there's more stuff to talk about, especially stuff that doesn't do well in the newsletter. Like talking about Mick Thompson changing his preferred guitar vendor or whatever. I don't know how you want to say that, but that just doesn't transfer well in the newsletter. So I'd like to talk about it over this. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how this went. And I may or may not leave it up. But the next episode should be next week. And I think that'll be the first official one. But if not, this might be the first official one. A little early action. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I'm going to try to put this on a bunch of different platforms, but I'm just going to rip the audio from YouTube if it's not too terrible. Otherwise, I'm going to have a a DAW, just Reaper running in the background to also record the audio. And, well, I wonder if that'll do good with the, I don't know. I'm just theory crafting here at the end. But another episode will be up soon, probably next week. Maybe the first official episode. We'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Be sure to subscribe to the Double Scoop newsletter. I will put a link in the description of this video. Thank you for